All right, y'all. I hope everybody is doing well. Boy, there is so much happening. I heard Trump just put the country in a 15-day lockdown. I don't know if any of you heard, but I just got a notice about it not long ago. Yeah. So it'll be a very interesting 15 days. Hey, Loretta. Shalom, family. All right, we got about 60 people in here. We're going to give it a few more minutes to let people come in. Yeah, well, Jamal, the whole country is on lockdown. Trump just made an announcement not long ago that the US will be on lockdown for 15 days. And they still don't know how many people in the country got it. I suppose they probably won't know. Everything that they're doing, they really should have been doing a month ago. Because there's no testing, real good testing being done in the US, we don't know how many people got CV. We don't know. And then they're talking, what, a million tests? It's 328 million people in this country. A million tests. That's not even 1% of the population. Yeah, no travel. I'm hearing that they're going to try to stop a lot of the domestic travel. People flying from one state to another. They may be shutting that down. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, if you're just getting in, Trump just said the country will be on lockdown for 15 days. 15 days, y'all. All right. Okay, there's 141 people in here combined with both my channels. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. My son and I went over to see his doctor. Now, the doctor that my son goes to is also a surgeon. So we were in there talking about everything that was going on in the country, because you know what? We don't hear a lot of what's going on in the medical community. And I think that's a big mistake. And I think it's a shame that what he told me was not announced on TV, instead of us hearing Trump say the coronavirus is contained, because we know this man is an idiot. Okay. You didn't even test this country. You tested a few thousand people in a country with 328 million people. Okay. How did you contain it? So he told me he hasn't done a surgery in a week and a half. Surgeons are not permitted to go into OR unless it is an emergency. If it's not life-threatening or some type of an emergency, he can't even go into the OR anymore. And they've done this apparently with doctors, not only here in New Jersey, but in other parts of the country too. So if you have a condition and you need surgery, you won't get that surgery unless your life is at stake. So if your life is not on the line, you will not be going in the OR at all. Now, I said, well, This is what they should be telling people, because I know quite a few people that need surgery. It's not life threatening, but they need surgery. Oh, my son is doing very well. Thank you so much for asking, Mocha Latte. You know, this is what they need to be on TV telling you, and not all this nonsense from Trump. Yeah, all surgeries are postponed. He said he spent last week calling up all of his patients to let them know they will not be getting their surgery until further notice. Yeah, they do keep us in the dark about everything. You're right about that, S-Mac. They do. You know, I even have a couple of relatives that need surgery. It's not life-threatening, but they need surgery. And I was like, you know, this is something everybody needs to know. So he said he can't even go near an OR. The hospitals are not permitting anybody in there unless you absolutely have to be there. Yeah, so do I. I sure hope your mother's okay too. You know? Yeah, I mean, the country, I just can't believe, you know, we were sitting in the lobby, waiting for my son to go back with the doctor. And that's what we were saying. It was like, it's just like in a snap in this country, everybody's life has changed. Even if you don't want your life to change, your life has changed. You know, or you're like Trump, you're trying to force yourself to still remain the same way as before, but you really technically can't. This has changed all of us. All of us. Yeah. You know? Yeah, elective surgery. Yeah, you can't even get that. Mm-mm. You know, he said, if you're not coming in an emergency room and you're next to death, they're not doing any surgeries. Yeah, I saw that, Christopher Clipper. 3,000 points. The stock market went down. This place ain't going, they're not going to be able to avoid a recession. 3,000 points down in one day, that is unheard of. But no, they will not be able to keep this country out of a recession at all. You know, they're already telling you, they're already saying if things don't turn around, we will be in a recession either before or around July. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. They are saying what we went through during the Depression, it may be even worse than that. So it's getting real up in here, and it's rapid. Yeah, 3,000 points. That is like insane. Do you know how, I mean, you're talking about trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars lost in one day. You can't go on like that. You can't. Yeah, they are. I mean, I was listening to a recording of this one guy, and he said in one day, in one day, in one day, he lost $40,000 on the stock market, and he's just a middle class guy. That's a lot of money for somebody to lose in one day. Well, he might have said 45 days. When I looked at an article, it said 15. It could be 45, but does it really matter? If you don't have a cure for a highly contagious virus, does it matter how many days it is? It really don't matter. When we come out of it 45 days later, that virus is still going to be here. Look, Italy went into not lockdown, and the deaths are soaring. I looked at it. Somebody sent me an article today. I got to go back and look. The Italians are saying they've left us all here to die. Okay, so them being in lockdown didn't slow nothing up. Their deaths are going off the chart. And one day they lost 300 people overnight. I mean, they are getting their behinds handed to them for real. Okay, so they are saying 2 to 3 months on lockdown now? Wow. 2 to 3 months on lockdown? Yeah, Spain got worse too. And you're right, Blue Tinsel. Spain is in lockdown. They got worse in lockdown, just like Italy. So I don't know what these countries are doing, but something is not right. You go into lockdown, you would think things would get better. These places are going into lockdown and it's getting worse. Yeah, I mean, wow. Well, we'll see what happens. 45 days, 2 to 3 months. Wow, this is going to be interesting. Now, around here where I am, the kids are out of school for 5 weeks. Now, this morning I heard it could possibly go beyond 5 weeks. They're letting everybody know it can go beyond 5 weeks. These kids may not be able to return to school in 5 weeks. Well, I mean, if we're in lockdown, man, Bantu Beauty, you're right. We're in martial law. You got your country in lockdown. Yeah, and yesterday I heard Canada closed all of their borders. So you can't even get in and out of Canada. Okay, British Columbia also canceled schools. Yeah, I don't see how these kids are going to return back to school because, I mean, if this is going to go beyond 5 weeks, we're in March, is really not that much of the school year left. A lot of places get out in May, and here where I am, they usually get out like the beginning of June. They get out of school. So if you're talking about 5 weeks, you'll be close to May. And then what do they do? Return for a month and then get back out? Yeah, well, I saw all of the. I knew when they kept talking about closing down restaurants, shutting bars down. Now in my state, they said 10 people or more. So if you're out in public, there can't be a gathering with more than 10 people. If it's more than 10 people, it's illegal. You can't have that gathering. Yeah, they try, I think what they're trying to do, because they have nothing in place for online school for public kids, I think they're trying to work on changing that. But I can't see that coming out right away. But I know, they were buzzing about that. I knew something was wrong. I also saw in the paper here that evictions, they can't evict people now. If the country is on lockdown, and let's say somebody was supposed to get evicted, you can't get evicted during this period of time. All of that have to be postponed. Yeah, there's a lot. You're right, True Royal. His leadership has been terrible on this. Even his own people are saying that. That's why I just chuckled when he said the coronavirus has been contained. And I was like, your doctors aren't even saying that stuff. How are you saying it? And he really needs to shut up. He does not have any medical expertise. He barely knows how to do his job now. He needs to stick with what he knows and leave everything up to the people with better sense than him. He act like he got to have his mouth all over everything. And he just sounds like an idiot every single time he opens his mouth. I don't understand how anybody can even bear listening to this president. He's horrible through a crisis. And that's exactly what you don't need. You don't need to go through a crisis in your country and your president is just standing there making things worse. I just don't, I can't even listen to this man anymore. And something's wrong. I had CNN on. I was looking at a video from CNN and they were saying on there, don't listen to the president. Don't listen to the president. I was like, damn, when have you ever seen or heard any news organization telling you not to listen to the president of your country? This is definitely the first time in my lifetime I have ever heard that. But they're even telling you, don't listen to Trump. Don't listen to him. I'm like, damn. Now that's pretty bad. Fake corona is a psyop. Well, I don't think it's going to be too fake to those people that died. Yeah. And just from what the doctor was saying, they have limits on what they can do. They can still see patients, but that's about it. That's all he can do right now. He told me he usually do 2 surgeries a week. That's what my son's doctor told me. He usually do 2 surgeries. He's in the OR at least twice a week. But now he can't get in there at all. Yeah, yeah. A lot of these stores, especially if they haven't restocked, they're not going to keep those stores open. Keep them open for what? You can't go in there and buy nothing. But yeah, the empty shelves are around here too. But just know you don't really have to go out there and do a mad dash anyway, because the grocery stores, even in a lockdown, the grocery stores will still be open. And so will the pharmacies, because there's a lot of people that need medication in this country. Yeah, I mean, 3,000 points down. Yeah, I would say it's collapse. So what was the purpose in putting $1 trillion in to stimulate the economy, and then you went 3,000? You just wiped out the money. You wiped out all of that money that you just put up to stimulate the economy. You wiped it all out. Well, right now, with Trump gets an F. Man, he gets an F. You know what? I think you could have dragged someone off the street that could have governed the country better than Trump through this whole thing. He's been horrible through this virus. A lot of people are upset with him. A lot of people feel that he has done a terrible job in leading the country. And I even saw one man on a video. He said, look, either lead this damn country or pack the fuck up and get out of the White House. I mean, people are that fed up. People are that fed up. Well, Africa need to get all them Chinese people out of there. If they want to stay free of coronavirus, the first step is get all them Chinese people out of there. Yeah, they sure did want Trump in office. They got just what they want. You got somebody that's horrible in a crisis. You know, I was reading an article before I came on here. It was a nurse, and she got coronavirus from caring for patients with it. She said the first few days she had the sniffles. And she said that was really all she felt. So, she kept right on working. And she said it was just a few days after she got the sniffles. She said it felt like a freight train hit her. She could barely move and said she just had aches and pains everywhere. I mean, this is, I just can't imagine it getting worse, but we know it will. We know it will. And see, a lockdown is going to be difficult to work if you got a lot of people running around here with the coronavirus that have never been tested. Then how does a lockdown work? At least I can give some of the other countries, even if they got a lot of people dying, they're still testing a big part of their population. We can't even say that here. I was laughing when Trump was on TV last week talking about we got 4,000 tests done. Well, wait a minute. Look how big this country is, and you just got that amount. Wait, you knew since January this shit was in the country. This is March, and you only got 4,000 tests done? I mean, this man is so stupid. But see, a lot of people are saying the reason why it's so poor is because Trump got rid of that pandemic response unit that was supposed to be a permanent part of the government agencies. He got rid of it. They were the ones that were supposed to handle something like this. And he messed it all up. No, I mean, 4,000 people, you wouldn't even put a dent in my state if you just did 4,000 people. You wouldn't. And you got big states. You got states with, like I said, there are states in our country with 33 million people. You wouldn't even scratch the surface in just one state if you just did 4,000. And I just like how he stands there on TV and act like, oh yeah, we got 4,000 done. Like, oh my God, 4,000? Oh, Trump is doing a good job. Get out of here. This man is doing a lousy job. And it needs to be said, he's doing a lousy ass job. He's terrible. This man is 73 years old, and you mean to tell me this is the best he can do through a crisis? This would even be terrible on a personal scale. I believe Trump is sick, and I don't believe he got no negative result. First of all, they tell you the average is about 3 days to get your test result. So how did he get tested Friday and before Saturday afternoon, his results were in and they were negative. How did that happen? What lab did it go to? You don't hear nothing. And people asked him to show his test results, and he flat out refused. I don't believe he was ever tested. I don't believe he was ever tested. And then you got to think about all of the false negative tests. And that was another thing my son's doctor and I talked about. He said there's a lot of these tests. He said they're not as good as you think. It's flawed. And there's a lot of people getting tested and they are getting a false negative. And I believe that. You know, especially if they're not showing any symptoms and they get tested, it's going to show a false negative. Yeah, well, I mean, they even said the test was not, it was a lot of flaws. Now, the CDC, they have their own test, and there were countries that said even the CDC's test was very flawed. There's a lot of problems, but it's a fairly new virus. So it's going to take them a while to tweak the test to get it, where it's showing a more accurate reading. They're not going to get it in the beginning stages like now. Oh, man, I can't even listen to that man anymore. Everything he says is just so stupid. Yeah, he does eat terribly. Yeah, Trump does. I mean, all he want to do is eat Big Macs and KFC every day. But he's talking about he's in excellent health. You ain't in no excellent health eating like that all the time. You couldn't be. You know what? I hope they leave. I hope those shops in the hood that been mooching off of us all this time, I hope they pack up and leave. They need to get out. All that shit they're serving in those Chinese restaurants, they're not making the Black community safe or healthier or even making you, building up your immune system. Their food is garbage. Yeah, I mean, the vegetables and all that's okay, but they ruin it by throwing all that old sloppy ass sauce on top of it. That's what's really unhealthy. We don't need to be eating that crap. And the only thing they need to do is just close up shop and get out of the neighborhood. Yeah, Chris, they are rude with that hurry up and buy. I wish one of them would say that shit to me. I've never been in a shop and they said, I'm serious, y'all. I'm not making it up. I have never gone in their shop and they start hollering at me, talking about so hurry up and buy. I wish they would do that to me. I wish they would. I wish they would tell me that. Yeah, well, now they're not getting Black people's money. And I hope they never do. This is the time for them to, open up the shop in Chinatown around your own damn people. No, yeah, I know, daughter Judah, they want to be friendly now. The hell with it. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. They're only trying to be nice because they want you to come in there so they can start making money again. The hell with that. We are not responsible for them at all. They don't control. they don't contribute anything back to those communities that they have their restaurants in. They don't give back. And how many of them that want you to come in there and shop for them, how many of them have come in black stores or a black business and bought from them? Those Asians don't do that. So now we're returning the favor. We're not coming back in your shops and stores or whatever you got. The hell with that. Let them go out of business. I sure won't miss them. Yeah, yeah, they don't like us, but they want our money. It's the same with Africa. They can't stand those people over there, but they want the resources from there. You need to be kicked out everywhere. Kick them out. No, I don't feel bad for them either. We're not responsible for keeping them afloat. The hell with that. Yeah, well, none of our business, right, True Royal? None of our business. Their money issues are none of our business. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care nothing about them closing their stores. I don't care. First of all, they got to have a store in the community. If black people want a store in the community, they won't even let you have a loan. So they got to do something that most of us in our community didn't get to do. Yeah. Well, everything they sell in them damn stores are a bunch of knockoff shit anyway. And they should be closed for that reason. Now, if anybody want to sell some fake paraphernalia and clothes and stuff, it's those Chinese people. They'll go in there with all kinds of fake shit. Well, yeah, they would have been better off giving us our reparations. Look at all the money they're losing on Wall Street. it would have been better spent if they would have gave us reparations. They wouldn't have any problems with the economy now. But hey, they didn't want to give us none. So look at the shape you're in now. Your stocks went down 3,000 points in one day. Man, this shit is over. This shit is over. This shit is over. It's over, y'all. It's over. They can't even afford to have one more day like that. This shit is over. It's over. Right. And think about this. They lost all those trillions today and have nothing to show for it, y'all. They have nothing to show for the trillions that were lost over these last couple of weeks. They lost them. They might as well had just stood in front of Wall Street and threw all the money in one big pile on the streets and just set it on fire because they have nothing to show for the trillions that were lost. Nothing. Mm-mm-mm. Their money god was crucified today, wasn't it? Their money god was crucified. Yeah, I should do some creative art, do a a money crucifix. As their money is gone. Well, China is supposed to still get those locusts that are supposed to hit over there. So on top of everything they're going through, it's going to be, I don't know how they're going to save all those crops over there. Well, there are people that still want to trade. Oh, this don't get discouraged. This is a good time to buy. No, it isn't. It's not a good time to buy. No, it's never going to be a good time to buy because it's not going to be the same. They think they're going to rebound this market. It's not going to rebound, y'all. They've been struggling, I would say, for the past month on this stock market now. Yeah. But, and I think that's another reason why there's a lot of fear because their analysts are estimating that this recession will be far worse than anyone ever seen. And just judging the way money is being lost on that stock market every day, I can believe it. I can believe it. All right, Gabby J. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, well, I'm almost afraid for the next retrograde. After looking at this retrograde, I'm scared for the next one to come around. Woo, this was fierce. And this month ain't even over yet. And look at all this stuff happening. This is crazy. Wow. But see, like I said, I don't see how a lockdown is going to work. And you don't even know how many people in your country with this virus. And then they said what they're trying to do is the drive-through one where people can just sit in their car and just go to the drive-through. I don't, I just don't see how that's going to work on a big scale. People would be in those lines for hours waiting to get tested. Oh, Idris Elba. Idris Elba got it. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, well, he may be high on the market. I'm telling you, this Wall Street thing is over. I think we're seeing the preliminary stages of the financial market in this country. Just it look, it crashed today. Think about it. You lost 3,000 points in one day. It crashed. But they're trying to save it on the news. Oh, it's about eventually it's going to go back up. You've been saying that now for weeks. Okay. I mean, damn, how long are you going to keep saying that? Yeah, look, they refuse to give us our reparations, right? So look like the Most High is shaking them down now. So we're broke. It look like they gonna be broke right along with us. Sure look that way, don't it? It look like they're gonna be broke right along with us. For real. Yeah, I did see that on The Simpsons. Uh, Trump's presidency. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Hmm. Yeah. I think they can only hang on for so long. And I was even looking at the other stocks like Microsoft and Amazon. Every single one of those stocks were down. Everyone was down today. I never seen so many down arrows before in my life. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, a lot of people had their retirement funds in the stock market, and you may have to face the fact that if this thing really crashes out bad, you may not be seeing that retirement at all, especially if they had to invest for it. Because I'm telling you, if the stock market is crashing, you're not going to see none of that money. Yeah, because that's what most of these corporations do. They invest all of that money. So I know a lot of people were looking forward to their retirement and getting their money and all. And when you see the stock going down 3,000 points in one day, it's a possibility you may not see any of that money. Yeah, 401ks are all invested in the stock market too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, $500,000 wiped out. Yeah. And even the elite, they're saying the elite have lost close to $1 trillion. A lot of them are losing 60 and 70 billion dollars. I mean, that's crazy. But see, they trust a market ran by man. Okay. And you see where that got you, right? When you invest in those kind of markets, that's exactly what you're doing. You're trusting in men. Yes, Rain Love, I did see the courts are closed and they are postponing all the trials and everything. Even the criminal trials are being postponed. I did see that. Yes. So court is put, boy, I guess I just barely made it with my case, huh? I barely made it. Shoot, if you're trying to do anything now, it's no telling when they're going to be getting around to, your court case. Because I did see that all across the country, courts are shutting down. This is what one virus is doing, y'all. One virus is putting the country in a standstill. Court was canceled for my husband. Yeah, they're canceling and rescheduling a lot of people, and in many cases you may not be rescheduled until the country is no longer on lockdown. Liquor stores closing in PA, yeah, because technically liquor is not really a necessity. Wow. Well, y'all, I'm not going to keep you too much longer because going to the doctor and waiting and coming home did kind of took longer than I was anticipating. But I got a couple of videos that I got to get out still. It's going to be a little behind, but that's okay. I'll still get it out. Well, I don't see how the cops are going to pick up anybody anyway. So if your courts are closed, you know, not unless it's something real heinous, they what are they going to do about warrants? Not unless they're still doing those, but your warrants, they come from the courts. Yeah, I did see they were going to stop getting people on petty crimes. Well, they should have stopped doing that a long time ago. Nobody should be in jail for a bunch of petty crimes. That should be for your hardened criminals. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of department stores shutting down. Yeah, yeah. Bantu Beauty. Yeah, I do see them letting a lot of these petty crimes and these marijuana charges and all that bogus crap. They should have, those people should never have been in jail in the first place. It's greed that have put all those people behind bars, including a bunch of innocent people that had no business being there in the first place. Yeah. Yeah, everything is what did it say? In a twinkling of an eye. It definitely have all of this has happened in a twinkling of an eye. I have to agree what it says in the book. Man, whew, this time last year, if you would have told me all of this stuff would have happened, I would never have believed you. Yeah, Passover is going to be something else. Tomorrow is New Year's, y'all. Yay! Yay! I love our New Year's. Right now, I got hedges in the front of my house in full bloom. Got all of the flowers all over the hedges. And the trees will probably be in bloom, I would say, in probably another 3 weeks. I'll be looking outside and the trees will have their leaves again. They should have flowers first and then their leaves. Yes. Now we can say Happy New Year. That's right, Brenda Hill. Now we can say it. It's not in January, but tomorrow will be our new year. Whenever there's, and by the way, y'all, whenever there is a change of season, you're supposed to treat that like a Sabbath. So it should be a beautiful New Year's for us, but it's like a Sabbath as well. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Wherever you are in this country, may the Most High keep you safe with his hedge of protection around our family in all four corners of the earth. Peace, family.